You know what I haven't done in a while? Caught something on fire. Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker back with you. Today we'll be talking about Deepwater Horizon, about the BP oil spill back in 2010. So today we'll start with a drink, of course. We always start with a drink. Come on. What do you think? Anyway, we'll start in with the drink. And what drink I'm making today that I thought was pretty appropriate is called the Flaming Oil Spill, which is essentially what this movie's about. Is a flaming oil spill. Now the flaming oil spill is a quarter shot of Hpnotiq, topped off with Yagermeister and a little bit of 151, and then you light the sucker on fire. All right, here we go. So 3/4 shot of Hpnotiq. Using your spoon, you will layer it with Jaeger to make it look like an oil spill. Look at this, the blue sea with a little dark on top, looks pretty good. And then, of course, you layer it a little bit with 151 to get that, lighting going. And then you light it. There it is, there's that blue flame. All right, everybody. Cheers, here's the Deepwater Horizon and the Flaming Oil Spill. Okay, so today we'll be talking about Deepwater Horizon, and Deepwater Horizon is directed by Peter Berg and written by Matthew Michael Carnahan and Matthew Sand, and stars Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, and John Malkovich. And it's about the deep oil drilling rig, the Deepwater Horizon, that tried to drill too deep and caused the biggest oil spill in U.S. history in 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, all the acting's pretty good in this movie. Wahlberg and Kate Hudson's relationship is really the core of this movie, and I attribute that to their on-screen chemistry that's really, really noticeable and is really the heart of this movie. I mean, their relationship is very believable, and I believe because of that, they bring an emotional weight to this movie that is really needed. Kurt Russell once again proves that he is a goddamn national treasure, and his grizzled, seen-it-all foreman that, really he's become a real pro at being. And John Malkovich is hamming it up again with his over-the-top Cajun accent, BP manager of the drilling site. And he comes off a little too cartoony for me. I mean, I think he was way over the top and just a little too much at times. The movie is very effective at making the audience feel like they are on this oil rig as it is exploding and falling apart around the characters. I mean, the sound design and special effects are top-notch and very impressive, and to the audience very unnerving at times, where you hear this thing falling apart around you. Once the disaster starts, it is non-stop until the end. Now, this movie is not shy about its point of view. And what I mean by this is that it paints the BP oil executives as the real villains of this story. I mean, they're very black hat wearing cartoon character villains who are just out to make as much money as they can in as little time as they can. I mean, the oil rig workers like Wahlberg and Kurt Russell try to stop the accident from happening at every turn, but they get pushed back by these executives. Now, this may be how, at the time, how things happened on that rig. This movie is based on a series of New York Times articles. I don't know whether it happened the way they're saying it happened, but this movie does have a very clear point of view as to who's to blame for all this. And at times, because of this, the movie becomes very heavy-handed in its message. And because of that, the exposition got a little clunky at times, and it sort of brought the movie to a halt a little bit. I mean, this movie had so much of a point of view that they ended up showing pictures of the victims as like an in memorial style thing at the end during the credits. Now, I appreciate that, and I appreciate that they're trying to show this BP oil disaster back in 2010 in a different light. I mean, all I saw of it were this thing went on for like weeks or maybe even months, where you just saw the live camera action of the oil pumping out into the Gulf. I mean, that's the only thing I knew of it. This is definitely a different take on it, and I appreciate that. But like I said, because of their very clear point of view, you get the sense that this is like, this is oil and, oil drillers and BP trying to be too overzealous, and because of that, the disaster happened. All right, so this movie is a solid, competent, disaster flick, essentially, and I really hesitate to call it that because it's real events that you're seeing unfold here, but I mean, essentially that's what it is. It's a disaster film, and it's really held together pretty well by, to me, the emotional connection between Mark Wahlberg's character and Kate Hudson's character. I mean, they were both really good, and like I said, had great chemistry. And look at this. I haven't done this in a while, by the magic of television. We have another shot here that we're going to take, and I'm going to light this one on fire as well. Look, this movie is pretty good, worth watching. The special effects are amazing. There's some sequences where I really didn't know how they did certain things, and because of that, I thought it was really impressive. So I'm going to give this a solid 3 out of 5 drinks. I mean, it was pretty well made, but it had some problems with the very heavy-handedness. So 3 out of 5 drinks, everybody. Here we go. Ooh, that's hot. Don't let that burn too much. Thanks you so much, everybody, for joining me. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about this. Let me know what your favorite disaster movie is. Anyway, again, thanks so much for joining me. Cheers, everybody. Have a drink on me, and we'll see you next time.